What is up, guys? We are out here at Bull Creek. I am with half of the Snake Brothers here. Russ, what's up? But we're having fun here, going over some images, LiDAR and everything, gonna get the drone up. Cool thing is I have some stuff to do some comparison with my recent trip to Malta, so I'll be sharing that here in the video as well. Yeah, we got a big day here, 2 sites. We'll be exploring and checking everything out and sharing some of the stuff that we find out here with you guys.
That even more makes it look like it was operating in some kind of clay, you know? Because you can have like tougher parts in the soft material and it just goes over it and then digs it into the softer part, as opposed to it being, I mean, I guess that would work as well with the stone, but this is just, it really does look like something was running through soft material and then this hardened later. Especially with the way that the tracks will split, like it gets wider here, still have sharp corners, but it widens out as opposed to like these other areas where it's extremely narrow.
Right, the actual groove.
Yeah, but this is wide but flat, you know, but still sharply defined.
Yeah, that doesn't look worn down by something.
Right.
It looks cut.
I mean, look at the flatness of the bottom, you know.
That's a great shot there. Yeah.
It's like if this was a 4-wheeled or multi-axle vehicle, you know, the first wheel goes along and cuts a groove and the second one comes along and it's not quite on the same track and just sort of makes it a little wider. I don't know. That's another problem, is you can't make these turns with a 4-wheeled vehicle that doesn't have both axles turn.
Exactly, yeah. They're all locked in place once you're in a groove like that.
Yeah.
But then you come over here to areas like this where the actual track gets wider and wider and wider. But it's not worn down. It's still that
yeah, it's cut.
Definition. Look at that.
You know how it can happen if a car trying to repeat the same road.
I want to know if this is part of this rock.
I saw that earlier.
Yeah.
And it looks like it.
It looks like it got jammed.
Yeah,
in
it jammed in there.
But
maybe not.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Is this part of this stone? Because the rut goes underneath it, right?
So it could be an inclusion in the stone that's like.
Yeah, but how does the rut sharply defined underneath this if the cart was bumping over this thing? So it. Yeah, I need tools. Where are my tools? This is the right side.
So that's a point right there, huh?
Edge of the left side, inside edge, looks like right here, maybe. So it looks like, is it diverging? The right over here. This might be some right here.
Yeah.
But then after that, I couldn't find it anymore.
Yeah, it gets real murky.
Yeah.
Coming from.
This side is still real clear.
Yeah, oh yeah, we come over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still real clear.
Yeah, and it just goes up through the bushes and then it kind of disappears into a deep pool. And it may reappear on the other side, we'd have to go check, but.
That's where the vegetation starts getting pretty thick.
Yeah, and they're definitely not visible in the pool, which might make sense if this top layer of stone is just gone in that pool, and that's what these were cut into. But that's interesting because that implies that the tracks were not, like, in other words, that top layer of stone that these tracks are made in had to be eroded away by the river after the tracks were made.
Right.
If the tracks were in them, and then now they're gone because the stone is gone. Yeah, this is a really good example. If this was supposed to be carts coming along when this stone was already hard and cutting ruts in it, how did it cut a very sharp, steep rut on this side, but not just like over here?
Yeah.
this actually looks more like the rut was cut, and then later this stone eroded away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which could still happen in hard stone, and then later the hard stone erodes away because of the river. But it's just really interesting. Like, I've been noticing these too, these fractures. So this is something I want to check. Like, if this was clay or mud or something, like thick mud that the ruts were made in, then as the rut, if this crack was already here in the clay, which it probably wouldn't be, but the rut would come through, it would push material into this.
Right.
But this might be basically a desiccation crack. Right, like after the stone hardens, it splits.
Yeah.
And look, if you look at the corresponding rut over on the other side, look how shallow that is.
Yeah.
So that's,
yeah, you're right.
That's the corresponding one here. Incredibly shallow.
Yeah.
Comparatively.
And that's not deep enough, right? So this is the other thing I was thinking. If we had a deep rut here and the cart was moving along, I mean, you can't start out with a deep rut, but the cart would want to move off of this steep cliff and onto the hole over here. But
Now, I will point out, because it's one of the first areas of evidence that we've seen, is that lip right there.
yeah, the second one.
Of coming out of the rut and making something.
Yeah.
Because this is one of those first examples we've actually seen here where it looks like.
Yeah. It was riding on the edge
Right.
of the existing rut,
Mm-hmm.
which again is hard to explain if this was already stone. I mean, I guess you could say, well, it was wearing it away, and then this became the rut that they all rode in later, and so now you have it basically cut through this previous shallow rut.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
That's pretty cool. I actually feel like we gotten more than we did the first time on this one.
Yeah.
And the water levels are up, but the section here with the cart ruts is
It's above the water level.
and so we've been able to get LiDAR, drone, capture a bunch of good shots of everything too on camera. Yeah, I think we've done pretty good today.
Yeah. The other thing we should check is whether this has been LiDAR'd from the air. If there may be USGS
Online?
LiDAR stuff of this,
That'd be great.
and if we could at least see the river channel.
Yeah,
Yeah. So we could check that as well. All right.
because I feel like one of the big things, like we were talking about, is if we found any evidence of quarrying out here,
Yeah.
that would be huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think? Should we head to the next site?
Yeah.
All right.
Should. Get some lunch and head to the next place.
Yeah, I agree with that.
All
Coffee.
Coffee.
We are at the second site in Round Rock, and they knew we were coming. It's a huge conspiracy. They shut the park down.
Closed it.
They're trying to keep us from the real information. Anyways, I think they're just doing construction. There's a road that goes right through the park. And so I think maybe they're doing construction on that. I don't know. We're going to get down here and see. But we've seen people coming in and out and riding their bikes up out of the park. As you can see, here comes one. I think, what's that? So we're going to get down here and check it out. Never been down here before, so we might have to explore a little bit. They really are trying to keep us out. I thought it was probably just for the road construction, which it looks like it is. But they have this whole area that we feel like that's the area that we should be exploring shut off. Well, what the hell, man?
Yeah.
Missing salt. You can try to go.
The other side?
Yeah.
I could always put the drone up too.
Yeah.
So we're exploring around. We did a little online research because I think we were going in the wrong direction and figured out that they're under the overpass of the highway. So if you come into the park here in Round Rock to look for them, they're under the highway, and then they're out in the middle of the stream. Now we're exploring around to see if maybe perhaps they go up and in different areas, because there's a pedestrian bridge over here, to see if maybe it comes up on the banks. But the only pictures and different stuff that we've been able to find thus far showed it all going through completely through the riverbed. And we can see the lines and marks from the banks here. Maybe not so well on camera, but I can see them really well. And I'm gonna get the drone and fly it directly over this so that we get a better image for you guys to look at. But it doesn't look like we'll be able to do any LiDAR or anything here at this site, unfortunately. What do you think, man?
I guess we're gonna have to see with the drone.
Yeah?
I mean, I can't tell from here.
Yeah.
And if they are, like, there's some faintly visible things
Right.
out there, but those tracks, they're not nearly as good as the ones that came through.
Well, I'm gonna get the drone up. We'll
Yeah.
see what we see.
Yeah.
These are pretty good. And clear all the way up and down.
Up there, there's some interesting stuff, and then along here, there's a place where there's this, you can kind of see it here. It might be there's regular
Oh yeah.
horizontal lines. But you know what, these might be from those, to see them because they go that way.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well, we can LiDAR now.
Like, dude.
Yeah, it's the same shape.
Yes, but it looks like somebody was making a mark to cut. You know, like you were saying.
Yeah,
just
like
putting
same-
rails.
Mm-hmm.
Drawing lines.
Look at this. These look like scooped out areas. These aren't even tracks.
Yeah.
Well, we picked the best time of year. It is fucking hot. We're all just drenched in sweat. Notice how the rut loses its rutness?
Well, you see the ripple pattern here?
Yeah. And then it picks back up over here.
Yeah.
With these lines crisscrossing.
And there's another set, just like the other place.
Yeah, just out of nowhere, right?
Yeah. Where is that coming from?
This set just appears and crisscrosses this other set.
And see the horizontal?
Yeah.
I mean, what is that? What's making that mark? Is that really dozer? It's pretty regular to be a thread.
So it looks like it starts getting really deep up here. So it looked like this is kind of what I was talking about with some of those sites in Malta where like pieces were carved out.
Yeah.
Like these are all tracks as well.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them. See, over here, like if they're all going this way. But the problem is like this is in line with the flow of the river. So if there were tracks here, it's obviously been heavily eroded afterwards by water flow. Because you can see how it's like this here. This is like a pothole.
Right.
It forms a vortex and digs down.
So look at this. They put bricks in it.
Yeah, well those are stones. This is limestone also, but it's like somebody put them in like bricks.
Yeah.
They filled them in. Because look at the spacing.
Yeah,
It's the same.
but who filled them in?
And it's on the same track if that was curved
Yeah.
and around.
If that one came
Yeah.
back out this way.
Those sons of
This
bitches.
is weird. Well, that's the question. Like, is this modern? Or
Yeah.
is this showing us what was originally being done with these tracks?
I think this is
Modern?
modern. And they filled it in.
Yeah. They were too deep. That's weird.
Those bastards. They know what they're doing. So all back here is where we came from. It's a bridge, crossed over the walkway and headed out here to see if any of the tracks continue on to the other side. And it's really just hard to tell because they're basically demoing this whole side. Like it's all just torn up. And they're making a trail over here and doing all this work. Building out the sides of the banks, the streams down here. So this whole area has just been plowed. And I don't really see anything else because it's all like rock debris and a dam and more and another bridge. So I head back over here because there's a couple other spots that I want to polycam. And then I might have to get out of the sun because I'm getting burnt.